today on UI7 Newsbreak.
Laura Pressing hands over her role as Urbana Mayor to newly elected Diane Marlin.
I'm Diane Marlin.
Students continue protests to reinstate their African American Studies advisor, Lou Turner.
And for this week's See You Neighbor, one local brings his Brazilian culture to our community.
Coming up on your UI7 Newsbreak.
From the Richmond Journalism Teaching Studio at the University of Illinois campus, this is your UI7 Newsbreak.
Good morning. I'm Jillian Kaler.
And I'm Jane Lee.
Former Mayor Laurel Pressing publicly handed over the center seat to the newly elected Mayor Diane Marlin.
UI7 Newsbreak's Anike Awoye brings us to the reception where Marlin and Urbana City Council members were sworn in.
Diane Marlin campaigned with a focus on open communication with all her constituents. Early last month, she was elected as the new mayor of Urbana. Tonight, she is sworn in.
I'm Diane Marlin.
Having been elected to the office of mayor.
Marlin has served as alderwoman on the city council board since 2009. In that position, she took the opportunity to listen and find out what's important to Urbana citizens. She plans on bringing in the same approach to her role as mayor.
I made an effort to get out into the community, to listen to people, to experience as much as I could. When you stop listening, you lose touch. You really do.
Marlin's husband says his wife has spent a great deal of time engaging with community members and expects her to be just as committed in her new position.
I've known her for 40 years, and she's never done anything but hard work. She probably put 30 hours a week in when she was on city council. I expect she'll put 60 hours a week in as mayor.
Mayor Marlin says she's looking forward to her new responsibilities.
I look forward to working with the community, with our staff, with our employees, and just moving this city forward.
The mayor says making decisions about the city's budget will definitely be on her agenda. In Urbana, I'm Anike Awoye, UI7 Newsbreak.
Laurel Pressing had served as the Urbana mayor for the past 4 years. She strived to work closely with Urbana locals during her tenure. Pressing was recognized by one of those citizens at the Urbana City Council meeting on April 24th. Local resident Robin Arbiter publicly thanked Mayor Pressing on behalf of the Learman Neighborhood Action Committee for her help with the establishment of a local garden. Arbiter presented Pressing with some zinnia bush seeds from the garden and hopes that this is not the end for Pressing's political career.
I hope if Mayor Pressing needs a break that she'll take it. And selfishly, I hope she doesn't need that much of a break because I think she's a powerhouse, and I think she's someone who, if she chose to, has a lot left in her politically.
Though Pressing is no longer Urbana's mayor, the seeds she planted at the Learman Neighborhood Garden will continue to grow.
Dozens of University of Illinois Springfield faculty members went on strike yesterday morning. They represent about 170 tenured and tenured track faculty members. This protest is during the week of class before final exams, and these professors will be unavailable to their students during the protests. The strike came after the UIS, United Faculty Union, bargained with the university on Monday. Some professors felt they were not being treated fairly in terms of promotions or tenure. The UIS United Faculty website states, "We have worked at this, they have not. We have bargained in good faith, they have not. They don't believe we have any fight in us, and we do." The strike will continue until further notice. However, the union and administration will possibly meet again on Friday in a bargaining session.
The Illinois student government prepares for the 2017-2018 academic year by appointing and approving new executive board members. UI7 Newsbreak's Dorothy Teng shows us how the U of I student body looks forward to this next year.
Today, please say aye.
Former Internal Vice President Spencer Hayderry has been appointed Chief of Staff and will now be working closely with the rest of the student body.
Me personally, I'm going to continue working with not only the executive, but all the senators and helping establish organizational goals and individual goals as well to make sure that we're doing everything in our power to effect tangible change on this campus.
He says he believes that everyone who is appointed are all very driven and will give it their all.
President Jobson.
What do you think sets you apart from the other candidates?
The Student Council meets at the Union to discuss various campus issues and also to appoint future executive board members.
The President consults the Chief of Staff, and then they appoint a Deputy Chief of Staff to be confirmed by the Senate.
President Raneem Shamsuddin says Haydari has contributed a lot in the past.
I've really seen him grow within student government. He chaired internal affairs. He was the vice president internal. He's the current chief of staff. He pretty much wrote the new constitution. And so with all of his experiences and him always putting student government first, it was an easy decision for me to appoint him again.
The Illinois student government made changes to the Constitution this year. The executive staff is now appointed by the president and vice president and confirmed by the Senate with a 2/3 vote.
I think it's going to be a lot healthier for the organization because now it's not only qualified people, but people that they feel that they're very comfortable working with as well. So it's already starting off with a very healthy working environment.
The U of I student body is looking forward to making improvements on campus for the next year. In Urbana, I'm Dorothy Teng, UI7 Newsbreak.
Election season was back in December, but one elected official is still experiencing new things as a rookie. Champaign County Board member Robert King participated in his first strategic planning meeting and many issues were discussed, but no one was there for the public participation part of the meeting. King believes that will change if the board takes the right steps.
I hope that participation will grow, but I'm also, I'm tempered to know that we have to really put the issues out there. And once we start talking about the issues, people will take notice.
King received over 6,000 votes during this past election. He plans on using his new platform to promote diversity throughout the community and empower minority groups to have a voice. The board has struggled in the past to communicate effectively with residents, but King believes that will change if they share information using the internet and social media.
The members of spoken word group Writers Organizing Realistic Dialect, also known as WORD, came together this past Sunday for their spring concert called Pandora's Box. Today we are introduced to one poet with a powerful personal story. Liberation and freedom are a focal point in the work produced by spoken word group WORD, and this semester's concert in particular played on that mythological Greek story of Pandora's Box. Performers like Mari Diallo shares her own personal story and how it relates to this theme.
The piece mainly relates to my experience with dealing with bulimia. So I feel that Pandora's Box relieves secrecy, and then when I was going through it, I felt like it was a chaotic moment. And as people probably know, is that Pandora's Box released the chaos. So I felt like this piece kind of correlates to me releasing how I felt, the chaotic feels that I had during my area of bulimia.
In the concert, performers sang, rapped, and spoke about everything from relationships to body image. In the end, all of the burdens and chaos released were put back safely into Pandora's Box.
And coming up next on UI7 Newsbreak,
some students are fighting to keep the African American Studies academic advisor in the department.
And some citizens rallied in the worldwide March for Science against the pending EPA budget cuts.
So they say it's a man's world? I don't see anybody's name on it.
While they were doing their thing, we slowly changed our world.
Today, women can do anything men can do. And there's one thing we're even better at.
Morning, Gary. We are GetSchooled.com. You want a college education, don't you? You know you do. Yeah, but I don't know where to start. That's why we're here. We're free, handsome, I think we're breathtaking, and here to guide you through every step of the way, starting with attendance. Gary, financial aid forms. Biology homework, G. I got this. Is that Bran? Colleges love extracurricular activities.
Chess really isn't my thing.
I got this. Doesn't matter. Go ahead. Picking a college, man. You and us go together like tacos and Tuesday.
And I love tacos.
Fire and ice.
Those don't really go together. Go to GetSchooled.com for more info.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Students joined in solidarity to keep the African American Studies Department's academic advisor. Some say students they have been personally impacted by the department's decision. Sonny Ture isn't just a graduate student impacted by the firing of academic advisor Lou Turner, but he's an influencer in the #TurnUpForTurner sit-in campaign.
I want a stronger black campus community, one that has institutions that have a more equitable share of resources in this community.
Today is currently the 6th day of Turn Up for Turner, and students continue their quality discussions, inform the public through flyers like this, and they're snacking to keep their energy going. Students organized outside and inside the building. Trey says Turner has been a cornerstone to many, including himself, but he questions the leadership of the department head and the Associate Dean for Humanities and Interdisciplinary Programs of LAS.
I call on Dr. Bailey and Dean Carmago to really be very self-critical and really look inside and maybe delve into some of these contradictions that they're so clearly displaying.
Students rallied early Friday afternoon to cause a disruption in front of the LAS office until Carmago stepped out to discuss the issue.
If the leadership of this department and the leadership of this university are not willing to fund those type of institutions, you know, of course that's something I'm going to be protesting about.
Lou Turner is touched by the students' thoughtful efforts.
I have been frankly blown away by all of the work that they've done, the thought that they've done in thinking about the issues and the resources.
Trey has been organizing student movements for over 5 years and is proud to see this campaign recognized.
I think it's a responsibility that we have while we're here to prepare the way for those that come after us.
Trey dreams for a stronger black community, starting with Turner keeping his job next year.
This year's graduation ceremony is quickly coming up on May 13th. Speculation about former President Barack Obama being the commencement speaker were circulating. However, it has been confirmed to be U of I alum actor Nick Offerman.
The university is called the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign, although it's located in the community of Champaign-Urbana. I hope to explore this and other mysteries when I speak to you at your commencement this year, 2017, and thank you in advance for having me. See you soon.
The campus-wide commencement ceremony will be held at Memorial Stadium. The 2017 brunch is offered beforehand in Eikenberry Commons upon reservation by May 5th. Cap and gowns will be distributed to students between May 10th and May 14th.
Graduation is coming up for several students at the University of Illinois. A U of I student will soon cross the stage on May 13th after overcoming some financial obstacles. Kendra Nalubega is soon to be a U of I alum, but she didn't have a traditional financial experience. She's originally from Uganda. Her mother moved to the U.S. after Nalubega completed high school to give her children better opportunities. Nalubega started her journey to pursue a degree in education at Harper College because it was cheaper and closer to home. Her mother struggled to pay out of pocket during the first semester. Nalubega could not receive financial aid until she received her green card in January of 2014. She took out a few loans, but she didn't know help was on the way. The Flag Fellowship is now lifting the weight off her shoulders.
I received that last summer and it paid full tuition and it had a stipend as well, and I received it this whole academic year and for graduate school next year, so I don't have any loans currently.
Nalubega will receive a bachelor's degree in education May 13th. She'll continue down the education road for her master's at U of I and hopefully a PhD to end her journey.
Pending EPA budget cuts have made some feel silence in the climate change debate. Science supporters and concerned citizens rallied to be heard during the Worldwide March for Science. President Trump's EPA proposal would defund the Climate Protection Program and decrease financial support for research grants. Trump's plan to cut EPA spending by 31% has stimulated a very vocal response. Jackson Fliss is a U of I physics graduate who spoke out during the march in Champaign. Fliss says he wants his work to be useful for humanity and the environment, but EPA budget cuts have made him unsure about the impact of his scientific efforts. Fliss hopes fact-based policymaking prevails in the end.
Ultimately, you just hope that fact-based decision-making can lead to a more concise and federally influenced action for climate change.
Handmade signs from supporters at the march reflected Fliss's concern about the lack of science-based environmental policymaking. Trump's proposal would decrease EPA spending by $2.5 billion. This new plan is still awaiting approval from Congress.
And while people have been rallying for Mother Nature, the weather does not seem to be treating us well lately.
After the break, we'll see the weather forecast for this upcoming week.
Yeah, you. Getting that college education, what are you gonna do? Graduate and take some office job? Be like everybody else? Or will you dare do something different? Like be a teacher. You could be my teacher. You got the skills. The smarts? Yes, you. You could be the teacher I never forget. That'd be cool. Does that corporate job even have recess? What are you gonna make of yourself? What are you gonna make of me?
Don't worry. 74 people were picked before me in the NFL draft. To fight childhood obesity, United Way and the NFL are helping kids play at least 60 minutes a day.
Okay, time for the team obstacle course. Yay!
What this place needs is more healthy kids. To get involved or donate, go to unitedway.org/play60.
Now I get it.
Did you know kids who play outdoors have healthier lungs?
Totally.
Did you know that boys that play with dolls make better husbands?
My son has lots of dolls. But did you know terry cloth diapers breathe better?
I did.
It's totally true.
Oh, yeah.
Did you guys know statistically friendly kids have more friends?
Yeah.
That's obvious.
Did you know most people think they're using the right car seat for their kid, but they're not?
Parents who really know it all know for sure that their child is in the right seat. Visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat to make sure your child is protected.
Hey, Hard, what's this? That's my resignation letter. You're resigning? Why? Because you're constantly ignoring me. You're half as active as you used to be, and you eat stuff like this. You've been putting me under a lot of pressure lately. That's why I'm ready to quit. I forgot. I'll do better. Please, don't quit on me. Okay. But remember, it's not what you say. It's what you do.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you.
Let's go for a walk.
Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to a stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
Citizens of Champaign-Urbana joined in the People's Climate Movement at Grace Lutheran Church this past Saturday. At the rally, people learned about environmentally friendly programs. The event featured inspirational speakers including State Representative Carol Ammons and State Senator Scott Bennett. They could also learn about programs such as purchasing solar power with Solar Urbana Champaign 2.0, buying compost bins, or building bee-friendly gardens with the university. Organizer from Sierra Club, Alice Engel-Breston, explained the importance for holding this event.
We really have to get more and more people involved, and we cannot afford to go back on environmental protections. We only have one planet, and we might be past the point of no return now, so we have to do everything we can to keep human impact from polluting the air and the water, soils.
This movement was held throughout the nation, such as Washington, D.C., Denver, and more. Well, I just can't believe this weather we've been having.
I know, it's been terrible. It's been raining. But now let's check in with Liz Jassin for a look at this week's forecast.
Hasn't been the most pleasant May. We've seen showers throughout, and we'll continue to see showers throughout the week. Let's take a look at our radar. Just as you can see, just west of Champaign in Missouri, they've got showers, they have storms, which explains our colder temperatures, which we're experiencing. Let's take a look at our local temperatures. So in Champaign-Urbana, 53 degrees, over in Danville, 54, and over in Springfield, 59. Let's take a look at our Midwest temperatures. Up in Chicago, 43 degrees, over in Ann Arbor, 61 degrees, and down in Kansas City, 53 degrees. Now let's take a look at our national temperatures. Over in Boston, just a tad warmer at 62 degrees, 61 in New York. And on the West Coast, where we all like to be, 99 degrees in Phoenix and 83 degrees in Los Angeles. Now let's take a look at tonight. We're going to see a low of 44 degrees with scattered showers throughout. Make sure you have a raincoat or an umbrella. Winds coming in from the northeast at 18 miles per hour. Let's take a look at tomorrow now. Tomorrow, same thing, more showers with a high of 49, winds from the northeast at 24 miles per hour. Let's take a look at our 5-day forecast. So this weekend, the sun does come out on Friday with a high of 57, but back to showers on Saturday with a high of 63. But luckily, on Sunday and Monday, we will see that sun with a high of 63 on Sunday and a high of 69 on Monday.
So just a few more days until that sunshine comes out.
Countdown.
Yes, literally, a countdown.
Well, thanks, Liz, so much for that weather update.
And joining us now is James Boyd with UI7 Sports.
When we come back from the break, we'll highlight the Illinois softball team's high hopes for the postseason.
Doesn't see race. Love is love.
Pretty much a good day for me would be people leaving their hands off of me. I'm always called names. Everywhere that I go, there's always someone calling me names, calling me gay. I've been choked, thrown up against a wall, punched. Nobody's ever tried to help me.
You've messed up your son's haircut.
Mom?
Do you A, try to fix it?
Like it never happened.
B, work with what you got? Or C, show solidarity?
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. But it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello? That's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
Last season, Tyra Perry led the Illinois softball team to its first NCAA tournament in 6 years. This season, she has guided the Illini to an overall record of 35-13. To put that in perspective, the Illini won 36 games all of last season and will have a chance to surpass that total today in a doubleheader against Northwestern. Senior Ruby Rivera is grateful for her team's success, but has her sights set on something bigger and doesn't mind if she has to skip graduation to achieve it.
I'd rather be at the field than be walking down and get my cap and gown, my diploma, than not playing this game.
If the Illini are able to carry their success into the postseason, Rivera and her fellow seniors will be forced to miss commencement in order to play in the Big Ten Championship, a sacrifice all of them are willing to make. The postseason is not too far away for the Illinois baseball team. The Illini have only 9 games left until the Big Ten tournament. This weekend, Illinois will head to the East Coast for a conference series against Maryland. The Terrapins are the #1 team in the Big Ten, but if Illinois is able to win all 3 games, it will be the team's first Big Ten sweep of the season. Those wins would also improve their conference record to 8-10 and overall record to 22-23. The Illini have been up and down all year, but are currently on a 3-game win streak, which is tied for their second longest of the season. The Illinois women's tennis team is built with individuals who have incredible skills and are hard to match. UI7 Newsbreak's Grace Asebu shares one player's unique story on a team headed to the Big Ten playoffs.
Daniela Pedraza-Novak is a sophomore on the Illinois women's tennis team, but that isn't what separates her from the bunch. Novak hails from Bogota, Colombia, and adapting to life in the United States was easier thanks to her teammates.
Well, of course, being the Colombian girl who nobody really knew, it's awesome just being welcomed. It's been 2 years now, and I feel like I'm part of the family. They love me, I love them. So I feel comfortable out there, and not just in the tennis ambit, but everywhere.
Having a second family in her teammates was essential to Novak's success here at Illinois, but she also serves as the sound of reason for her teammates.
Danny she can be serious. She has just kind of a formal tone to her, and so in team meetings she'll step in and really talk like the mom of us and kind of put things into place. So she's a great leader in that sense.
Here at the Adkins Tennis Center, the University of Illinois women's tennis team is facing off against the University of Maryland. If the Illini women's tennis team can beat the University of Maryland, they'll face off against another team tomorrow in this same venue in the Big Ten Championship playoffs. Novak says when teammates become family, it takes the pressure off winning and allows them to just enjoy being with one another.
I feel like my teammates are really supportive of me, and I always enjoy being around them.
The Illini women were able to beat Maryland in the quarterfinals but lost to The Ohio State in the semifinals. In Urbana, I'm Grace Asabu, UI7 Newsbreak.
Now on the men's side of things, history is being made. Junior Alex Vukic has been on a tear for the Illini. Despite his team's overall record of 16-11, Illinois' top-ranked player has won 20 consecutive matches, including a victory over previously ranked number 1 Michael Torbergard of Ohio State. Vukic's win streak is the second longest in school history and adds to a lengthy list of accomplishments he has earned this season. Vukic has only lost 2 singles matches all year long and was named the Big Ten Player of the Week 5 times. His success has helped guide the Illini to their 22nd consecutive NCAA tournament. In other sports news, former Illini defensive end DeJuan Smoot was selected 68th overall by the Jacksonville Jaguars in the NFL Draft. And if you haven't heard yet, senior Brandy Donnelly of Illinois volleyball was just elected to the U.S. Collegiate National Volleyball Team. That's it for my sports update. Back to you guys.
Thanks so much, James, for that update. And our Seeing Neighbor this week features a leader of a studio who teaches much more than dance. UI7's Charlotte Collins shows us how one Brazilian Champaign resident shares his culture with the community.
Capoeira is a synthesis of martial arts, dance, and music that has its roots in Brazil. Dennis Chiaramonte has spent years working in Champaign to share the art he fell in love with in his native Sao Paulo.
I was around 11 when I started. What brought me to was the movements and the music. I want to do a martial art, but I want something more, and Capoeira have that more what was the music too.
Chiaramonte teaches at the Capoeira Angola Center in Champaign and is also a dance instructor for the university. He says the community he's built in Illinois through Capoeira makes it feel like his first home.
I like the life here. I used to live in a very stressful place, but I like Urbana, Champaign. I love here. It's hard for me to think to come back to live in Brazil. I want to go to Brazil to vacation, but I want to still live here.
Chiaramonte's wife, Aisha, works at the center with him in Champaign. She's also his student.
He's an awesome husband and an awesome father, I think. And that passion that he has for Capoeira, he also has it in his life with his children. So it's pretty admirable.
The Capoeira Angola Center is off campus in Champaign, but twice a year since 2003, Chiaramonte has led free workshops on campus to U of I students. The conference is also open to the public. It featured guests from around the world to teach samba classes and even some classes for kids. The variety showcased in the conference reflects Chiaramonte's philosophy about Capoeira.
What I love about Capoeira, this thing to include people. Doesn't matter if the person is white, the person is black, the person is Muslim, the person is Christian, the person is from African religions, the person who speaks English, inclusive. We find a way to communicate. That part of what I love of Capoeira.
In Urbana, I'm Charlotte Collins, UI7 Newsbreak.
The spring season means baby goats are being born at the Prairie Fruits Farm in Urbana. This past Saturday was the final open house event and the last chance for the community to visit the babies. Families from across the area gathered in Urbana to visit baby goats and enjoy free food. Each Saturday during the spring season, Prairie Fruits Farms open their property from 9 a.m. to noon for the Babies and Breakfast event. Families could enjoy breakfast indoors or visit the goats in the barns. Initially, the event drew a much smaller crowd, but the event has grown due to the popularity of the baby goats. On this morning, 2 babies were even born. Babies and Breakfast will return next spring.
Well, as the semester's winding down, I think we need to do a round of thank yous for everybody that's helped to make this possible.
For sure. Shout out to Dakota, the goat.
Dakota, the goat, relevant.
Our
instructor, Ken Erdy, has just been phenomenal with everything, so we thank him.
And our producer.
Yep. Sarah.
And
all of our other classmates.
Yes, we
everybody.
appreciate it.
We've just really come together, and
it flew by.
A wonderful final show.
Yeah. So for more of our stories, please follow us on Facebook.
Or to see more of our stories, you can follow us along on our YouTube page.
And that's all we have for this edition of UI7 Newsbreak.
Thanks so much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.